Hey you guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a pink pan haul and review. And for those of you watching, you might be wondering, pink? Why pink? Well, for starters, pink is a rare color. You don't see it everywhere, especially when it comes to cookware. And it's feminine and in case you can't tell, everything in my apartment is basically white, which I do really love because white definitely is calming and just kind of serene. And when I moved into my place, I knew that I wanted home to be a place that just made me feel calm and tranquil, like a place to come home after work and just relax. And so for me, white kind of encompasses all of those feelings. But about a year or so ago, I was coming out of a relationship and I just felt like I really I needed a change. Like I needed an energetic change. And while I still wanted things to be calm and serene, I wanted to incorporate a different energy. Like I wanted to add, I guess, more love. I wanted to add more love to my calm and serene surroundings. And so I have always loved pink. That's nothing new. But I hadn't really incorporated pink very much into my apartment. And so for those of you who don't know, color actually does carry energy and vibration. And pink actually is known for carrying the vibration and energy of love and compassion and nurturing. And those are all things that I feel I really resonate with. It's also seen as, just reading my notes over here, it's also seen as having a calming, soothing effect. It's associated with kindness, with warmth, and with emotional healing. And I guess when we, on that topic of emotional healing, I think that is why I was sort of gravitating all of a sudden towards being able to incorporate pink into my apartment, because coming out of that relationship, I really feel like it was like a time that I really needed to delve into self-love and emotional healing. So I do think like on a level that I wasn't aware of, my spirit was calling me towards adding pink into my environment. So anyways, without getting into a super deep conversation about that, that is basically what sort of got me inspired to add pink into my place. So after that, I started just looking for pink items to add to my home. And I do like to cook, not so much in the summertime, but in the wintertime and the fall, I do love cooking. And so I happened to stumble upon the Le Creuset pans, which I do own a couple of their pans already. I have a white one, the really huge, like the biggest one you can possibly get. I do have that one, and let me see actually if I can show you guys the picture that really got me interested in adding pink pans to my place. So these are the it's pink and gold Le Creuset cast iron Dutch ovens, and this is in the color chiffon pink, which I have actually never seen these in person, but they are absolutely beautiful online. And so I became like obsessed with the idea of being able to get these pans. Now, unfortunately, for some odd reason, they decided to discontinue this color. I have no idea why. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the only place you can really sort of get this color is eBay. But if you're not already aware, eBay, you have to be careful. Not just eBay, but anywhere that's not Le Creuset, you really need to be careful about the possibility of purchasing replicas. And I'm not against picking up a dupe for something, or I'm honestly not even against a replica of something. But I think that when it comes to cookware and really wanting, it's just such a high price tag, and I want the real thing because when I cook, as somebody who cooks, and if you cook, you can understand this, you want the good quality, like higher end pans just usually, I think, well, supposedly they cook better, more evenly and things like that. And so, yeah, I wouldn't want to pay like a ton of money for a pan that isn't gonna cook the way that I need it to. So anyways, so I just basically started looking for this pan set, and I couldn't find it anywhere that was legitimate. I think in like Japan, they do carry the smaller cast iron Dutch ovens, but in that color, but they don't ship to the US. I tried so hard to get these pans. And on top of that, you just can't get them here. And if you buy them anywhere that's not like Creuset, you kind of run the risk of you can't be 100% sure of what you're buying, that it's authentic. So as I was going on this crazy chase for this set and not having any success, I really kind of just got my heart set on adding pink pans to my kitchen. And so I was able to find enough of a kitchenware cook set that has satisfied my soul. And so in this video, I want to share with you the set that I ended up putting together, and they are all different price ranges. And so I hope that you will appreciate that and be inspired to perhaps add some pink kitchenware, cookware into your kitchen, so that you too can get that nice serotonin boost that you get when you add pink cookware to your kitchen. So with that all being said, the first pan that I would like to show you that I added to my kitchen, which I actually bought for myself for my birthday, this is actually the most expensive one that I added to my collection, is the pink, it's rather heavy actually, it's called Petal Braiser. This is in the color Shell Pink, and it retails for $375 US. And it comes in the colors yellow, white, and shallot as well. Shallot, for those of you who may not be familiar, it's sort of a gray purple color with a very slight hint of pink. And I did look at that color, to be honest with you, to see if I wanted to purchase the whole set. And I decided against it because it just didn't have enough of that pink color that I was really, really itching for. So I settled on this Shell Pink, which is not quite the what was the color? That other color, pink from Le Creuset, that I liked so much. It was one that I just showed you guys. Oh my gosh. Chiffon pink, sorry. So, you know, it's not quite chiffon pink, but it's pink enough that I feel like it's a true pink, you know? It's pretty. And so it's supposed to look like a flower, and it's just so beautiful. Now, I do have plans to replace the knob with a gold knob. They do sell interchangeable knobs that you can add onto your pans. And I purchased this one in July, and I have not cooked in it yet, but that's not because I don't want to cook in it or don't like cooking. It is because it is summer where I am, and I just don't really cook very much in the summer. The hot weather, I'm not a summer person, to be honest with you, and I just don't get inspired to cook in the summertime at all. So anyways, enough about that. So this is the pan. So my first impression is that it was a lot smaller than I anticipated. For the price point, $375, I kind of expected it to be more along the lines of the traditional braiser that they carry, which is quite a bit bigger. But being, someone, just myself, this is good. I feel like this can be appropriate for like 2 to 3 people, max in terms of cooking. But it's very beautiful. It's got the enamel inside. And then this is what the inside looks like. Again, I have not used it yet, but definitely plan on using it. And it is made in France. It's got the little stamp on the bottom. And yeah, so this is the first piece that I added. Again, it was for my birthday, and I'm super excited to use it. However, I will say, as someone who, this is not my first Le Creuset piece, I will say that I am going to treat this Le Creuset differently than I have treated my Le Creuset in the past. They tell you that you can put this in the dishwasher. They tell you that you can put it in the oven, in the braiser. I don't know that I will do that. I had one really huge Le Creuset Dutch oven, and I cooked in it a lot. And I would use it to like bake bread in the oven and stuff like that. Oh, my back. I would use it to bake breads and cook meals, and I used it a lot. And unfortunately, I did have the experience where the inside of the enamel began to chip off, which if you ever have this happen to you, you must, and you've got food, like it was so sad what happened to me. I had cooked this like beautiful meal and noticed that the inside of the pan had started to chip. And so the concern is that the paint chip, because it's actually glass, was in the meal that I had just spent so much time and labor making. And so it was very sad. I had to get rid of it because if you ingest that enamel, it's really, really bad. And you can have all sorts of issues like neurological issues, and it can really cause some damage to your health. So it's not something that you want to risk. But that pan was maybe like 3 years old, which is not really that old. Maybe it was actually a little bit older than that, maybe 4 years old. And so I was super disappointed about that. Thankfully, Le Creuset does have a decent, it's not a lifetime warranty. It's a limited lifetime warranty, which I think is really misleading. But they were kind enough to send me a new one. And to be honest, while the craftsmanship, in my opinion, was not as good as the original that I bought, because I did notice some, I'll show you. around the inside of the, oh, actually this one's kind of like that too. Okay, so maybe it's just, I don't know, my other one didn't have any painting inconsistencies on the inside of the handle, but this one I can see does. And my the replacement that they had sent me for the original really big Le Creuset, that one also had some like paint inconsistencies. And what I mean is, I don't know, it's just like the paint's kind of like lumpy on the inside. My other one wasn't like that. So anyways, that is the Petal Braiser, and I purchased mine, directly from, I think I got it, directly from Le Creuset through Amazon. And I just thought the pink on that was very, very pretty. And all these Dutch ovens are very heavy. They have a lot of weight to them. So the next one is a lower price point. This is the Paris Hilton enameled cast iron Dutch oven in the heart shape. It's in the color, what color did they use here? Well, I think it's just pink, but they do carry it in pink and cream. And I just thought this was like so adorable. I mean, look at it. It's got this cute heart gold knob, the little heart outlines on the inside. And this is the 2-quart. I purchased this off of Amazon. It does also come in a 4-quart for anyone who's interested in the 4-quart. Brand new, this one is $34.99. The 4-quart, for anyone who's interested, it's $49.99. But I chose the 2-quart, and I also did not buy this one brand new. I did like the open box, which they advertise as in whatever condition it's in. So some of them can be like used, some of them can be like new or like very good. They will give you different descriptions like that. So I picked the used, very good description, and it was not a thing wrong with it. So there it has the pH on the bottom for Paris Hilton. Now, I had never purchased Paris Hilton cookware before, so this was a first. It has these sort of like beads. These have a function inside, these little like raised beads in here. I think it's something to do with like the steam or something when you cook. Don't mark my words on that. And this is the inside. So it also has that enamel feature inside. And I did see, so, if you're really a stickler about any little imperfections, I mean, it's very hard to see, but it does have a little minor paint inconsistency right in here. Let's see if I can get it. See that there? I don't care about that. I really don't. Especially at this price point. I think it's completely fine. And there is a little mark here, but I don't know if that's something, I don't think I did that in cooking. I think it just is like that. Anyways, I have cooked in this a handful of times, and it cooks fine. I had no problems, honestly. I did read some of the reviews on this pan, and the biggest complaints that people have had about it is the fact that it can rust. I guess it rusts around this area. So you can either season this with olive oil, and I think that will help prevent any rusting. I personally have not done it yet, but if you run into this problem and you don't feel like going through seasoning the pan, what you can do is baking soda and vinegar, white vinegar, works very well to clean these cast iron pans. That goes for the Le Creuset, that goes for like any cast iron Dutch oven that you have. white vinegar and baking soda will work really well for that. It just gets everything off, stains, anything like that you can use to clean this. And the thing is with these Dutch ovens, you don't want to take anything that's super abrasive and clean these because you can damage them. So it's really important that you take proper care of these Dutch ovens, whether you're spending $400 or whether you're spending $25, which is actually, this is $25 is what I spent on this one, with being the very, very good used pan. So this, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone else used it. It just means that somebody bought it, didn't like it, and returned it. So, I mean, for $25, it saved me $10 basically to buy this version. And in terms of the rusting that people have complained about, you can see a little bit of that here. But again, if you just do, let's see, sorry guys. Let's see, you know what? Let me see if I can get, I do have a little ring light. Let me grab that and see, because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see if this helps. I've got a little handy dandy, little mini ring light kind of thing. Maybe I should be using this while I film my video. Is that, oh. Let's see if I clip that on. Is that the brightest setting? Hold on. Oops. Let's see if that helps. So, oh, it does. So you can see a little bit. That's not food. That is just the material. And it's not that bad though. Like, if you're not, I'll tell you something in a second. Hold on. I'm just trying to find the, so here you can see, I mean, it's very slight. There is some slight bit of rusting there, but it's so slight. And the reason it's so slight is because of how I have taken care of it. So when I'm done cleaning this, I use the baking soda and the white vinegar, and I dry it immediately. And I even, like, sometimes will just rub some of that white vinegar in after, because the chemical reaction from white vinegar, I guess, helps prevent or at least keep it from getting worse. Prevent the rust from getting worse. So, but I think for $25, if you're really itching to add something pink to your kitchen, I think this is very cute. I love it. I don't regret buying it. Again, you just have to be sure to take good care of it and clean it properly. Like, I wouldn't wash this and then let it sit wet, because it's just going to become completely rusted all over the edges. And then your pan, it doesn't look nice, right? So that's that one. So the next set, let's see. The next set that I want to share with you is the GreenPan. It's the GreenPan anodized healthy ceramic non-stick set. So this is a 10-piece set. And it's supposed to be dishwasher safe, PFAS free, and oven safe. It's retailing right now at Amazon for $324.77 in the US. And it does come in this very pretty, let's see, I'll show you. I'm going to show you the frying pan first because it's the smallest. But it's in this beautiful, the color that they reference on the site that this is called, it's called Blush. And this is how it looks. You see the green pan on the bottom there. and there's the gold. And I just love the pink and gold together. And to be honest with you, when I saw this set, I thought, okay, I can like feel happy if I have the pink and gold, because if you remember the original set that I wanted so badly from Le Creuset, which is no longer available in that beautiful pink chiffon color, it had the pink and the gold together. And so that was really like the look that I was after. And so I found this GreenPan set on Amazon, as I mentioned. I ended up buying the set that was described as very good. So this would have been an open box, and I ended up paying, right now, at the time of filming this video, I did go online and I checked before coming to film the video, but they do have a very good set priced at $195. So you could do something like that. I mean, I personally love saving money wherever I can, but I would caution you, if you decide to get a used set from, or an open box set from Amazon, I would steer clear of the sets that are fair or just marked used, unless you can very easily return them, because I will tell you what I did. I ordered 2 open box sets. I used one that was just marked used and like in okay condition, and then I purchased a set that was marked as very good condition. And the set in very good condition actually arrived first, and they were perfect. This is actually the set that I kept. And a few days later, I wanted to also mention the first set that arrived came in all of its proper like styrofoam and packaging. It was packed well. There was no issues with it. When the next set came, the set that I had ordered that was in like fair condition, which I paid, I can't remember how much that set was. It was probably about $30 cheaper than the very good set was. And excuse me, I need some water. You don't realize how thirsty you get doing all this talking. Anyways, so the second set that arrived, I never even opened the box. Let me tell you why. So when I went to go pick up the package from the package room, all I could hear was everything crashing around inside this box. There was clearly no packing. There was no styrofoam, no nothing. Like everything, like whoever, I don't know if it was someone at the warehouse or they just got it this way when somebody returned them. I could hear all the pans just crashing around loosely inside the box. And so one of the complaints that I heard about these pans, I'll be honest, on Amazon, is that they scratch very easily. And so I thought, oh my gosh, if they scratch very easily and somebody just took all these pans and threw them into a cardboard box with no proper packing, they're going to be destroyed. And I know that I probably will not want to keep them. So I just returned them immediately. I didn't even open the box. And I ended up keeping this set. So I'm going to show you the 2 frying pans here. So it comes with a really big frying pan and a smaller one. I absolutely love the color. I looked at several pink pans sets, and I just found that aesthetically, I just didn't really like any of them. Like either they had like the cute pink color, but then they would have like a wood, or they would have like plastic on the lids. I just wasn't feeling it aesthetically. And so this set just aesthetically, I just thought was just so pleasing to the eye. It just looks so pretty. And so I decided to keep this set. And I have not cooked in this big one yet, but I have cooked in the smaller frying pan. And it's been great in terms of like, you know, the nonstick works perfectly good. I don't have to worry about scrubbing a pan. And so that's the two frying pans here. And I will talk about my experience cooking with these, and especially in terms of like, you know, them scratching easily and what my thoughts are on that. I will get to that, but I just want to show you the rest of the collection. So the two frying pans, that's 2 pieces, 2 of the 10 pieces. And then it comes with, as part of the set, a small, I don't know, I think you call this like a saucepan maybe. But this is what it looks like. It has the glass top, and a few things to mention. So there's no holes here. Like some lids, you'll notice they have holes so that steam can escape. But there's a reason why there's no holes in here, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But this is one of the pans. It has the GreenPan logo both on the lid and on the handle. And I have cooked with this one. As you can see, it's still in perfect condition. I have had these a month, to be fair, a month. And again, I don't cook heavily in the summer, but I have cooked in that one. So the lid and the pan is considered another 2 pieces. So you will have already seen 4 pieces. This is the next pan, which is bigger. I can show you the 2 together actually, if you want to compare how big, different, you know, they are in size. There we go. Again, none of the lids have holes in them. And then the other 2, I have to get up to grab the other 2 because they're a little bit further away from me on my bar. So this is the other one, and it's bigger. This would be good for, like, I don't know, you could cook a stew or I don't know, whatever your little heart desires. But very aesthetically pleasing, beautiful pan. I have not cooked in this one. And then the very last one to this set, when I say, so just so you know, the lid is considered 1 piece and the pan is considered another piece. So each pan with the lid is considered 2. So here's the other one. I have not cooked in this one yet either. Definitely plan on cooking in these more. Okay, so with that being said, so that's basically the collection for the GreenPan set. And so let me cover a couple of things about that pan set. So yes, they absolutely do scratch very easily. And I'm gonna show you actually something. So even in action, like putting on the lid, if you do this roughly, you will see a scratch. Oops, see, you gotta be so careful. So I'm so gentle with these. I put the covers on very softly so that I don't, you know, I can extend the life of my pans as much as possible. I also was gonna mention to you about why there's no holes. So there are no holes in these pans because you don't need them. These pans actually retain heat very well, and you're not supposed to cook with these on high heat. That will damage the pans. So this pan set is not good for somebody who doesn't want to have to think a lot before they use their cookware. It's not good for somebody who's in a hurry, who might be banging. I'm notorious for like slamming things around sometimes, especially if I'm in a rush. And so I never will use these if I'm in a hurry. But the reason why there's no holes on the top is because you're never going to be using these, or you shouldn't be using these with super high heat. So for example, when I cook with these pans, I don't really go over, I have an electric stove, I don't really go over a number 5 in terms of heat. And then once I get the heat, like for example, if I'm trying to get something to boil, and I don't know, I put it on like a 5 or a 6, and I get it finally boiling. Once I get it to that boiling point, I actually will turn the heat down so that, because it will still continue to boil, it just doesn't need to be on like a super high heat. And so that's good in some ways because it will help save on electric or gas or whatever you use. Although, you know what, I don't know if these are safe for gas flame. That's actually a good question I just thought of. But I have an electric stove. I have had 0 problems with any staining on the bottom. I take that back. I did get a little bit of a stain on one of them, but again, using baking soda and white vinegar, it came right off. And also being mindful of using a lower temperatures. Like, you can't take these pans and put your stove like on the highest temperature right away and then think that you're not going to damage these pans, because they will get damaged. So my recommendation, this is a perfect pan set for someone like me. I don't have other people using my pans, and if these are very much like mine. I wouldn't have somebody else touching them, even if I had a guest at my house. Like, my kitchen stuff is mine. It's mine. So I don't have that worry. But like, if I lived, in a house with, tons of kids and people, and like, somebody who's going to be trying to use the pans and doesn't know well enough to be so gentle and careful with them. And oh, look, there's my Daisy in the background. Hi, Daisy. Hi, girl. That's funny. It's amazing. She's 14 and she'll be 15 in February. And I'm just so amazed that she can still get herself up on my couch. I love her so much. She's the best. But anyways, yeah, so this set is perfect for like, the woman who doesn't have anybody touching her things in the kitchen, and she knows how to take care of them and isn't gonna, she knows to be gentle with them, how to clean them, how to use them, when to use them. That's who this kitchen set is good for. Or a gentleman, not to be biased. If you're a gentleman who likes pink, by all means, go ahead and get yourself the GreenPan set. All right, so that is the conclusion of that GreenPan set. I talked to you about the care of these pans. If you haven't noticed, I take really good care of all of these pans. With the GreenPan set, yes, I did read that there were a lot of people that were annoyed that they scratch easily. Which, oh, by the way, I didn't mention, on any of these pans that I've shown you, you cannot use metal on them. You need to use, I'm really big on wood. I do have some of not plastic, but they're kind of like a rubbery, I think, are they acrylic material? Like the little spatula type things. I do have some of those, but here, I'll show you so that you know what I'm talking about. Hold on. I'm back, guys. Okay, so like these types of things, I do use these, but I try not to use them on things with very high heat because of microplastics and stuff like that. So, I do have these, but mostly when I'm cooking with these types of pans, I reach for wood. I like wood because they are natural and they're not a risk to my health or to my pans. So I would recommend wood when it comes to cooking with these types of pans that are a little bit more delicate. And then, so for the final pan that I'm going to share with you guys, it's actually going to be a bit of an unboxing because I just ordered it and it's I haven't actually seen it yet, so I hope that we will like it. And let's see. So the brand is Tabletop Unlimited. I have never heard of them before, and I have never ordered anything from of that brand. And this came from Marshalls.com. I love Marshalls, and shout out to Marshalls. And it is in the color pink, and it's a 4-quart. So I'm going to actually unbox it with you. It was just delivered today, and we'll open it together. So, of course, I have my pink scissors here to open up the package. So, and this pan is also pink, but the reason I ordered it is because heavy. Okay. So with fall coming, I have been eyeing these pumpkin-shaped Dutch ovens, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I really want one. And I was looking at the Staub brand, and I was looking at Le Creuset, but they are really expensive. And while I am, I do enjoy cooking, and I do appreciate a good quality pan, like I said, cooking with that Paris Hilton pan, it works. It cooks perfectly fine. There's no issues with it. So I don't think I'm above a non-designer pan, if you will. And yeah, I just, I feel like it's a seasonal item. It's not like I own my own home or something yet. I live in an apartment, and, I could, who knows, when you live in an apartment, usually people move around and stuff. So I'm not really settled anywhere yet. So I don't know. I just felt like I had already invested so much in, the Le Creuset, the Petal Braiser, and then the GreenPan set, and all this stuff adds up. And so, I like to save wherever I can. So let's have a look at this. Oh, very disappointing. It's so damaged. That's so unfortunate. Wow. Huh. Okay, well, I'm going to show it to you anyways. Okay. It's too bad because it does look like a very cute pan, and I wonder, so what I'll have to do, hang on. Before you get turned off by this, I have seen this type of damage show up on, not personally, but I've seen other people complain, even Le Creuset, Paris Hilton. I don't know what it is that happens to these pans, sometimes in shipping or in production, but they seem to, at times, become damaged. And they show up. Hold on, I'll show you. Wow, this one's very damaged, unfortunately. I wonder if it's because of the weight, if they get sort of banged around. But this was the pan that I ordered. And I'm going to show you. Here, we'll hold up. It's very, very, very heavy. Wow, this is very heavy. But to do a color comparison, it's really, really like, I would say this is basically the same color as the Petal Braiser. Very pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. This is incredibly heavy. Wow. And let's see. Oh, Smith and Clark. Interesting. That's not what it said on the website. It is made in China for anyone who wants to know. I suspect the Paris Hilton one is probably also made in China, though I don't know for sure. But this is how it showed up. So there's quite a bit of damage inside, sadly. This is actually very cracked. It's cracked here. There's several chips here and here. And even on the outside, you can see. Look at that. So I think this is just an unfortunate, sad situation. I don't know that it's necessarily the brand that's the problem. It can happen with even the high-end brands. Here's some more damage. Yeah, it's just got like tons of damage everywhere, sadly. But the top, this part here is very cute. And I'll show you how it looks together. So this one supposedly is, so this one was $39.99. And it's in the color pink, obviously. It's the 4-quart, which actually that probably explains why it's so heavy too. And it is, yeah, I think that's it. So let's see how it looks on the stove because I'm curious. I always like to see how things look, although clearly I'm not keeping this one because it is damaged, but I'm going to take this around to my kitchen, which is just on the other side of my bar. And we'll turn you guys around. Oh wow, the lighting's so different on this side. And we'll have a look and see how it looks in the kitchen, on the stove, and see what we think. Here, I'll bring you guys over so you can see. Oops. What do we think? That's how it looks on the stove. I think it's very cute. You know, I always like to play around with things, and I kind of want to put my other pans on the stove and see how they look together. So there's that one, and then my heart-shaped one, my Paris Hilton one. Let's see how it looks. So that's how it looks, you guys. It's really big. But you know, I was thinking, I kind of wish they had it in a smaller size. In maybe like the 2-quart, because that's just really a big one. But yeah. It's very cute though. Definitely looks cute together. I hope I'm giving you guys a good view. Oh, there we go. That's kind of a good view right there. What do you think? It's cute, right? So, yeah, but anyways, well, I was thinking that this would be a great pan to cook like stews or make chili. Again, I love cooking in the wintertime when I'm inspired. And I thought that that would be, I'm going to get rid of this ring light. I don't really need it anymore. So yeah, that's a bummer. I'll have to decide if I want to keep that or not. It is really big, and I'm not sure. I thought it could be like fun for the fall. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It's really a little bit too big, and I have to keep in mind, you know, I have limited storage space in my apartment, so I have to think about like, oh, maybe I do want this light on. I didn't think I wanted it, but there we go. Oh yeah, it does really help. I guess I just, wasn't used to the light or whatever. I have to really think about it because I only have limited space in my apartment, and it definitely is a seasonal item. Like, I'm not gonna have that pink pumpkin out in the summertime or in the spring. It's just gonna look weird. So I would have to like find a place where to put that, right? And whereas it's so big, I think it would be harder to find a home for it in my apartment. If it were smaller, a smaller size like that 2-quart one, the Paris Hilton one, I think that's a little bit easier, A, to keep out year round, but also B, you know, to tuck away somewhere if I needed to. But I suppose I could stick it up on top of my cabinets. I'm just looking up there. You know, like on the very top of my cabinet. I thought maybe I could stick it up there, but I just don't know. I think it might be too big for me, but maybe somebody who has a really big family might enjoy having a pan that big and that's seasonal. Maybe you have plenty of space for seasonal items, but that's always a challenge when you live on your own, is finding finding pieces that you can have out year round and not get stuck, like searching for places to store all of these seasonal items, but still feel like you can celebrate the seasons and the holidays. So I usually just buy like 1 or 2 small little things to put out in the season and that are easy to store, but I don't usually invest in really big pieces, things that are super heavy, because when it comes to moving time, it gets to be a little bit much, or when you need to store some of these things, it can just be a little too difficult. So, what do you think, Daisy? What do you think, Daisy? Hi. Hello. Daisy does this really cute thing where she sticks her tongue out. She's camera shy. Hi, Daisy. Okay, well, I think that's going to conclude my kitchen pan haul. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you maybe got inspired to add some pink to your kitchen. Sorry about the pumpkin pan. That was definitely, that pumpkin Dutch oven, that was definitely a bust. But, not everything can be perfect. And, I don't know if that's typical of that brand. I don't think it is, to be honest with you. But I guess if you can probably pick it up at the store, that might be better. I didn't see it at my store, but if you happen to see it, that's maybe a better way to buy it. One last thing, though, I will mention as I'm looking at that pumpkin pan from over here. is I do notice that the texture on the outside, the appearance is kind of lumpy. Can you see that? It just looks lumpy. I don't think I like that. That is one thing that I'm not sure I can look over. So I think this one might end up going back. But it was a good attempt. You know, you don't know until you try some things. And thankfully, I don't have one too far away, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal to return it. But anyways, thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a lovely Labor Day weekend, and I hope that you'll come and join me again. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like please like my video, share it with friends, and consider subscribing, because I definitely would like to upload more videos. And I go over, not go over, that sounds so formal. I definitely have a wide variety of interests, from like cooking to psychology to fashion, to beauty, to anything. I'm very much a creative person, so I really enjoy, I'm really enjoying like doing these videos more and more, and it means so much to me when you guys support me, or encourage me to keep going, or even suggest different ideas. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again soon.